Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Download the app, use promo code DNVR when you sign up. It's a drawing room. God, it's a frustrating drawing room. Rapids 1, St. Louis City SFC 1. And man, there's a lot of ways to go about this. A lot of positives, some very frustrating negatives that I think will not surprise anybody. But first, we have to introduce the fellas. It's the fellas. It's Super Yahya.
Oh man, I feel super blessed to be able to watch the Nuggets and Avalanche in between these shitty Rapids games.
Yeah, that's true. Did the Avs win?
They're winning 5-3 in the third right
Let's
now.
go! It was tied when I left the stadium. Okay. And also joining me and Yaya, of course, it's Wolvestown Duane Brown.
What's up, everybody? Hey, before we get started, shout out to our buddy John Babiak, who's in the hospital tonight.
Oh no.
Having some heart issues. So just want to, if you're watching, we love you, buddy. Hope you're getting well and back on your feet soon. But yeah, if anybody in the comments, jump into Twitter, send him some good vibes, some good thoughts. But he seems to be doing okay. Definitely watch the game and post a little picture. So jump into Twitter, send him some good vibes. And yeah, let's talk about some Rapids.
Are you muted, Mitch?
You're on mute, Mitch.
Hey, is my mic working?
There we go. I was doing something else in the back end, and I was like, am I crazy or did I get kicked off the show?
No, that's me, but now it's not. Keep going. You guys kicked this off. Let's start with that first half where they were scoring, where they should have scored about 10 goals and didn't. I mean, what'd you like? What'd you see? Obviously, not scoring is the frustrating thing there, but I think there's a lot to like from it and a lot to kind of base on going forward.
I mean, the best part of it was the midfield. They were in complete utter control of that game. The high press that St. Louis liked to play wasn't there for them today. The Rapids were able to find the quick pass, get the pass that got it forward. And Rubio and Acosta and Ronan all had really key one-touch passes that were able to get Cabral and Max in the open field. And that's exactly what you want to see on when you're facing the high press, when you have such big players coming at you, quick passes, out in transition. And again, I think that was the biggest key to this game in the first half. You're muted again, Mitch.
Wait, no, but it's working. Okay, we're good. We're getting back. Man, that first half, holy shit. Acosta, the 9-10 that we never knew we needed, like, he was unreal. He was pressing forward the whole time. And it was the perfect shape from St. Louis. Those counters that Robin drew up or whoever drew up in that game plan was perfect. They knew exactly how St. Louis was going to shift side to side and exactly how to get the extra man on that side every time. And between Acosta, Cabral, Max, and Rubio, someone was open and running the second that they had the ball on a turnover. It was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, first half was awesome. Man, watching Acosta tonight was a gift. It was a treat to watch him play soccer. We all finally got what we have been complaining about and getting to see Cabral get a start. And aside from finishing, which is not solely on his shoulders because there were about 6 or 7 that didn't finish in the first half. He played well, man. He was in the right position. He was adjusting to get into the right position. And he looked good, man. Like, definitely had that hustle. Wasn't walking around, was getting to the ball. I just, man, that first half was such it's two sides of the same coin, right? Like, it was so hopeful and inspiring to see what was going on, because this is who the Rapids can be. And this is who the Rapids are, when things are rolling, and things are gelling. But unfortunately, it's also who the Rapids are, in the sense that on the other side of the coin is that we're not finishing. My hot take, I said it on Twitter. I don't think Berkey had that great game. He had a couple of good saves, but we
had some great saves.
Right. We just kept kicking the ball right to him.
That was definitely the first half. That's definitely the first half. But those last, the Lewis save and the Rubio save at the end were unreal.
Those were great saves, but otherwise we really gave
Shout you out, Kevin. You're the man. Sorry, had to get that in before he goes back to drinking at the Dale's bar.
But yeah, man, what a first half. This whole match was a tale of two halves. I think that's the story of the match.
I think the story of the match, I think you nailed it there, but I also think it's what Jim just said right here. Thank you. Yeah, that was perfect timing. Look, this is, you look at this stretch of 5 unbeaten, right? Just the one win. You would like a couple more in there, but you got results against LAFC, Austin, St. Louis, your biggest rival on the road, and a way east team that you normally never have to travel to. So it's like, this is a great, great stretch. They had probably their most dominating stretch of play of the season by a mile in that first half. I don't know. Lots of like.
I really, one thing I kept looking out for was the recovery and the aggression they were showing when they were going into tackles. And I think Max personified that perfectly tonight. You saw him going in. He was going in full force, but he was going towards the ball. But he was really good at, once he got his foot in there, he shielded the player really well as well. He was aggressive. He was physical, and he wasn't letting anybody on that St. Louis team push him around. I think he even did it to Tim Parker, and Tim Parker's a big dude, a big ginger, and he still covered him off.
Their whole team is huge.
Yeah, and again, and one thing I do want to point out is the defense in the first half as well. You saw it with Maxu. We said it during last week's post game. If Maxu plays, he will lock up Klaus. You didn't see Klaus at all today.
Well, you notice they slid him to the pivot. He's been playing left all season, and Wilson has been the pivot. But I think they wanted that Klaus matchup with Maxu to be able to, I mean, Klaus is huge. That guy is a freaking statue.
And not just, and I mean,
you put those two together, it was a battle all night.
There was a point where right before the half where Klaus had to go play basically a Nate role because he wasn't getting the ball to him, and he had to go look for it, which good on him. That's what a striker's supposed to do when you're not getting the ball, go look for it. But the fact that they had to push him all the way down there when he's clearly a target man, and he can play the false nine pretty well too, don't get me wrong. But when he's clearly the bigger guy that you want in the box, and he had to go all the way down to play a midfielder role, that's because that defense was stout and that defense was holding them to nothing.
Yeah, no, I was, I don't know how much more we want to get into the first half, because I think you just have to, it's going to be a lot of flowers for the defense. A lot of flowers for the defense tonight. Man, all right, let's go into the second half. That start to the second half, 10 minutes basically, where it was just, have you seen this team pendulum that hard since July or June last year? Some frustrating. That was such a huge in-game swing. It was so frustrating. Duane, you mentioned it in our group chat.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, I can only put some of that on the Rapids, I think it was the in-game adjustments or halftime adjustments by St. Louis that made the start of that second half such a bummer. They came out and did a complete switch and really started pressing. And we were trying to press too. But they just kept winning out every time. And one thing I noticed is that every time we played it out of the back in the second half was, it really was not helping us at all. It didn't matter if we played it out soft or if, Yarby was just punting it. It didn't matter. What I did notice is that I'm not sure we won any headers in the entire second half.
I'm interested to look at some of that.
Gigantic.
Yeah.
And that really hurt us. It really, every time we were trying to get it, it would stop that momentum, and we couldn't get that. the ball moving because it was sent right back to us. So I think that had a lot to do with it, as well as just being able to get that first touch out from the backfield. We missed it every time for that first 10 to 20 minutes. So that put a huge impact on the start of the second half.
Yeah. What'd you see there?
I think Cornell, he played the Red Bulls way. You know what they said? There's an energy. This is an injected Red Bull style. He comes from the Red Bull system, which is high press, quick. In the first half, you didn't see as high of a press. Again, they were kind of holding it off for altitude. I feel like, but in that second half, I think Cornell went to him and said, "You know what? Give me 20 minutes of high press, go for that goal, then we can drop back into a blow block." And I think that's exactly what that game plan was for the first 15, 20 minutes. And I think the Rapids were really close to holding off if it wasn't for them being caught in their back foot on a quick transition.
Yeah.
At that point, I think it really came down to there was nobody on that pitch trying to calm things down. They didn't have a player that can hold the ball at midfield or even hold it in that back line and try to find the right pass. There was a lot of panicking because that is what a high press is meant to do. It's meant to put you in a situation where you got to make a quick decision. But at that point, that's when you maybe got to make a quick play. That's when I think Ronan and Acosta had to maybe just launch it out and not try to play out the back.
Yeah, they're trying to get too cute with it.
Exactly. So either you got to make that decision quick or you got to get it out of there. You got two choices. And I think the Rapids really struggled in those first 15, 20 minutes. And after that, after they got the goal, you could really see St. Louis drop back and start that block. 9 out of the 10 field players were in their own half for most of that second half after they scored.
Yeah, and I think, this is where we kind of have to give it to Robin Fraser. They go down 1-0 after dominating. And he really makes a huge change. Goes 4 back, right? Pulls Wilson and Beta, who seemed injured-ish, for Marcanic. Acosta comes off. That's later. But you put in Yappy, you put in Mikey, you take Cabral off, and you just really go, all right, we're getting a goal, right? And it took, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes after those subs. But it was a really interesting tactical switch because, I think it was that high press. There was not enough options to play out. So you put another set of feet who can receive a pass in that midfield area and really start to generate stuff. I thought Marcanic was great too. I saw someone in the comments said that earlier. He's been pretty impressive so far this year in his limited time.
I think he's definitely under rotation spot.
Yeah,
that's almost a guarantee.
I wonder if he starts Wednesday, maybe.
I think Gersh might get.
I'll be curious to see Gersh and Yappy. We were talking about that after the game. But
One
yeah,
thing
so go ahead. No, it's all you.
One thing I do want to give credit to St. Louis in that first 15-20 minutes, they did a great job of neutralizing Max and Rubio, who were playing the double 10 spot with Cabral up top. Neutralizing those two guys really made it easy for the outlet pass to be intercepted. It made it really easy for St. Louis to telepath whatever Colorado was due. So what they basically did, they pushed them out wide, and they were making the Rapids play through the middle, and they didn't. And Rubio and Max were not able to get into the middle, and were looking for out wide passes. But at that point, it was too late because St. Louis was already breathing down their neck, and that's when they should have launched it. So I think St. Louis, besides just playing a really good high press, they did a great job of just taking Rubio and Max out of it completely.
Yeah, not Max's best game. I think you pointed out there were some good defensive moments and some okay passes. I think he had was it Keegan that kind of laid one for him, and he just got a weak right foot on it early.
Yeah.
Keegan. I mean, playing up, he was great. Pushing that. He had a couple nice. He put some guys on their feet. Man, I don't know. So then you get into this last stretch, and again, it felt like they probably should have had 2 or 3 goals. Jonathan Lewis, I think he had like 0.75 XG or about there. I think it actually went down after some stats adjusted it, but in about 5 minutes, he, should have had 2 goals and he gets none. Which was, I had my biggest moment of frustration. I think now that I'm away from the game, I feel a little better, but I was like, this is what happens when you have a terrible team that finishes and all you do is add bad finishers is you don't finish. And, that was frustrating for sure. but the process was nice in that they kept creating chances all night long. I mean, it was chance after chance after chance.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we talked about this last post game and we said anything but a draw is disappointing. Anything but a win is disappointing.
Mhm.
And I truly do feel that. I can't give this team the benefit of the doubt anymore. You got to score. When you play this good against the best team in the West
Mhm.
and you have multiple opportunities, you got to score, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of down on this because, like, they should have. Thank
Yeah.
you, Orange, for the 199.
What? Dang, Orange, what's good? Hell yeah. What a legend. All right, if you're looking at game grades, who do you think was the highest graded Rapid?
Yo, let's go, Orange. $4.
What?
Thank you, Orange.
That's amazing. No, it's like, so game grades. I use FOTMob. So game grades. Who do you think was the highest graded Rapid? I think you'll be surprised by this.
I would go with Costa.
I think it was Cabral. I would Costa or Cabral.
No, that was definitely not Cabral. Cabral was the third lowest rated Rapid starter. It was Rubio, 8.6.
Well, that's not surprising.
He had the assist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I just thought he had a lot of great progressive passes. I think this was his best distribution game that he's had in quite a while. He was he gets locked into these tunnels where he needs to score a goal sometimes, I think. And tonight it was more making plays than just, shooting and trying to be the goal scorer for the team. He really set the table on a lot of those breaks. I thought it was really nice to see.
He had a late career Gretzky game tonight. Like you think of Gretzky as the big goal scorer because he was, but later in his career, he didn't take a ton of shots. He was really more of a playmaker. And that's what, we saw with Rubio after last year being a record holder now with goals. He kind of took that leadership role and really distributed it to making sure it was getting like a brawl or Barrios. I mean, it was old school classic Rapids tonight at the end with Rubio and Barrios playing together. Was really like fun and exciting to watch because those two know each other so well.
Oh yeah.
Also, the thing that I really enjoyed about that is the way him and Max were talking and switching side to side depending on the matchups they were getting on that defense. If whoever had Tim Parker would switch with Rubio or Max, so Max could attack the left or right. And I really, really enjoyed that because that just shows there's some chemistry there. That South American connection really does count.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell these guys were locked in and they were trying to attack something because they kept switching back and forth. Rubio was running the left, and then all of a sudden you'd see Max down the left, or you see Rubio down the right. And I thought that's exactly what this team needs. It needs a lot of fluidity in that final third because that's what creates chances. And Rubio playing that 10 got that progressive pass. It created a lot of chances, especially because you have guys like Ronan and Acosta getting the ball to him quickly and getting it to him facing forward instead of him with his back turned to the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys really put on a clinic in how to counter what St. Louis City has been so successful with this season. I think a lot of teams are going to be paying attention to that first half, just from just in terms of reading and reacting to St. Louis's play style. It was credit to the scout or the assistant coach or to Frazier who came up with the game plan on that, because the Max Rubio third guy, whoever it is, connection looked as good as it ever did tonight. It was great. Again, you're right. I think I'm frustrated that they didn't win. They should have won. And as we've talked, I've gone back and forth like 5 times just right now about being mad or not. I think it's still a good result. I think this is a force for the trees kind of situation again, where it's you still haven't lost, right? You've fought, you've come up clutch when you need to. Now you have a derby. Now you have a local derby in the cup.
Yeah, and again, it's not it's not like I think this team is bad. Like I think this
Yeah.
team played really well.
Yeah, they
And
played
when
great.
I say and it's
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to attack anybody on the team or the
No.
players. It's more you need to get some wins. I
Yeah.
like the way you're playing. You're giving that dog, but you can't have these moments of relapse to the 2022 Rapids, and then
Yeah.
it costs you a goal when you've clearly shown that you have another gear and another level in you.
Yeah.
That's the really frustrating part. And the other part is finishing, which is something they've struggled now for a couple of years. It's
Ugh,
been 2 to 3 years that
God.
they've struggled. But you can't change that. So what do you have to do? You have to be a fortress defensively. You have to be that team that doesn't let anybody get by you. And when you do have that, you have to be able to immediately respond or get the early goal at least. Especially when you have so many chances, like against St. Louis. Joanne is completely right. Berkey was not a world beater. I thought he had some good saves, don't get me wrong, but a lot of those 12 saves came right to the chest and right
Yeah,
to
he
the
was
head.
okay.
So
Did they correct me if I'm wrong? Only 3 games this year where they've given up multiple goals defensively.
One.
Right? Minnesota.
This
Austin.
one, no, Austin.
No, Minnesota, Charlotte, and Seattle, right?
Are you talking about us or them?
Us.
No,
Oh,
the
us.
Rapids have given up.
Rapids giving up goals.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
So only, if you're only giving up 1 goal a game, the wins are going to come at some point, right? Like,
are they though?
maybe
Like,
not. I don't know.
they?
I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm
And
probably wrong.
the thing is, like, it's really hard to give the team the benefit of the doubt right now.
This is a good result. Again, it's like this is just like that LAFC game. It's like this is a good you've had good results against good teams.
Like this is the thing about this year's Rapid squad. If we can figure out how to score goals, I'm not afraid of anybody in this entire league. I'm not really afraid of anybody in this entire league already because our defense. A lot of people on Twitter today were saying like our predictions were not high enough that St. Louis was going to score 4 or 5 like they have been doing, and I was very opposed to that. I was like, no, St. Louis has not played a defense like us. LAFC before us had not played a defense like us. Austin had not played a defense like us. Like nobody, when you play the Rapids, you better bring your A game on offense.
No, you're right.
Because our defense is not effing around. Like we would shut down the best offense in this entire league. Like I'm not even worried about any team in this entire MLS league. Not worried because our defense
Max is just
so solid.
Maxu, dude, has been
figure out the other half and put the ball in the back of the net. We are the deadliest team in the entire MLS. Wow. I don't care what anybody says. We are.
That's crazy.
We just have to figure out how to score.
The hardest part of the whole game.
Right. Literally,
man. That's
we make sure we got to clip
capital
that.
T, all caps.
We got to clip that for tomorrow, bro. Let a Duane rail. Let's go. Duane Alina in this house, dude. Let's go. Let's go.
Going the opposite side.
I'm speaking truth right now.
So you're speaking something.
This is the thing. People are telling me it's a good result against a good team. But the Rapids did this to themselves.
Yeah, they're in a hole. Yeah.
They put themselves in this hole.
Yeah,
which,
they're in a hole.
When looking at when you step back from if you're just looking at this game and you look at this draw, I'm okay. Not mad, not sad. But when you look, and I said this 2 weeks ago, the Charlotte draw, if the Charlotte game, it's gonna. I like the Charlotte game is gonna all depend on what happens on the week after.
Yeah.
If they got a draw, it was all going to depend on how they did the game after Charlotte. And they got that draw. So now you needed a win. They shot themselves in the foot by putting yourself against a worse team in Charlotte and drawing against them, against shitty-ass HOPENY who can't even fucking drive probably.
Oh, jeez.
Because all he does is flop on the ground.
Floppy fish.
Exactly. Like, this is what I'm telling you. Like, so now you put yourself in a hole because you got that draw. So now you needed this win to get back, to not maybe get into the playoffs or even start thinking about that, but get you on the right foot. Start getting on the track to win more games. Feel a little bit more confident. Start creating some of those, like, cushions between you and the bottom tier teams. But now you're still in that same wheelhouse. because you couldn't
Yeah.
get it done against the worst team.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough to see, man. I mean, look, we haven't had a losers lounge in 6 weeks, bro. Like, that's tight.
True.
5 weeks, whatever. Like,
So what's the
that's
solve?
amazing.
What do you guys think? What's the solve for this offense? Is it bringing in an offensive-minded assistant coach? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
You're not gonna like my thoughts.
That's okay. I want to hear it anyway.
My thoughts are:
everything's good at this point. Every idea is good.
I think you need to bring in another player. I really do.
Yeah, they're a player short.
Yeah,
they're a player short.
I think that's all it is.
I think that's fair.
I think you either give Calvin Harris a chance or something too, because he scored more in Rapids too, which is a different level, of course. But you need competition.
Bobby Firmino, who's talking to Barcelona. Yeah, let's get him into Commerce City. I'm sure.
Bobby Firmino's also talking to St. Louis
sure.
City. Bobby Firmino's also talking to St. Louis City.
He's talking to Barcelona. He's not coming to St. Louis. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man.
Money talks.
He's talking to Barcelona. He's not coming to the MLS. He's not coming to a non-coastal city in the U.S. It's not. There's zero chance. Zero chance.
Also, dude, Barca can't even fucking afford him.
Yeah, well, that's true. Hey, great point, Texas Viking 86, or is it Tax Viking? Maybe he's a Tax Viking.
Tis the season.
It is the
I
season.
just got my taxes and I owe. Thumbs down.
But great point. Seriously, great point. They lose Price, and then that's the mini game. They lose, and they haven't lost since. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, would have never guessed that.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm feeling good. But I'm sure by the end of this, I'll be back to being mad. I'm sure that's just how this goes. Oh, Texas. Fair enough. Okay, there we go. Any other things you guys want? Oh, I have a question for both of you. I don't care who answers first. What do you guys think of Yappy tonight?
Who?
Yappy.
No, that's the thing. I barely noticed him.
Yappy. Oh, yeah, there's this guy named Yappy. He's a giant.
Yeah.
He was playing for the Rapids. He didn't do anything. He was pretty much invisible except for one nice little hold-up play.
Yeah, his defense was better than his offense.
And
that's not why we have him.
Yeah, man, it was a rough showing for our guy. Yeah, and Aiden, you nailed it right there in the comments there. We were talking about this on press row. He just needs some R2 time. He really does. He needs to go play 270 straight minutes at R2 before he sees the field again for the top side.
But that's kind of like the issue. That's why you kind of need another striker.
He needs to start. Well, he needs to start Wednesday. Number one.
Of course.
Start Wednesday, and then just go to R2, play a few weeks. I just think he needs it. He needs to just get out there and find some flow.
Are you starting Yappy? You starting Yappy on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, you start Yappy. Not after what you saw today.
I think I start both. Man, Cabral doesn't play. It's
Yappy and Harris because Harris has been killing.
Well, no, Harris won't be there. Harris won't be there. He's not injured. He's not injured.
That's why I'm saying, I don't know.
He's not injured. He's in England. He's finishing his green card.
Oh, it's green card.
He's finishing his green card. He has half of it done. He's waiting on the other half. It won't happen in time for him to be back.
That's right.
But
it has to be Yappy. But again,
Hanya can't play. They would have to sign him. He's not a senior team player, so they would have to sign him and change his contract around and stuff. So Hanya won't play.
You might look at a Moist Bombito, who if I think get there at least maybe
he was listed out today, so I doubt it.
So maybe you're probably gonna get a Boubacar Keita.
He was also listed out, but maybe
might get a Gersh, might get a Michael.
I bet
Edwards.
you Gersh starts. Gersh starts. Edwards starts because Edwards has played a ton. Seb Anderson might even get some time.
A Markanich is gonna be there. You're gonna get a Priso.
That might be you start Gersh.
You're kidding an Ali
Gersh Edwards. Gersh Edwards.
Keita maybe.
Keita or Seb.
Seb's gonna play the right back. And then that's the issue.
Yeah, who could you put it? Who else would you put? One of maybe Lawless or Danny has to play, which is fine.
Maybe Danny because he got out early today.
Yeah, that might be why he left early. So Danny starts with Edwards maybe, and then
You got Priso, Ollie in the midfield.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I want to see Ollie play so
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad. And then you figure
Your
on the
10's
wing,
gonna be
one
Max.
of Lewis, Mikey. One
Probably
of them
both.
probably starts or both.
It's probably gonna be both left and right.
And then
honestly,
Yappy up
Cabral on top. And then you have a 10, which probably might be Max. You might just throw him out there. Ollie might play that 10. The other midfielders that the Rapids have. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any midfielders that have in Rapids too.
Well, there's not any that you would want. Like the available, the names you want are not available to be played this week.
Exactly, because that's where Ahania would be perfect.
Ahania would be so fun. Yeah.
I think we'll see Illich in goal.
Yeah, Illich.
Yeah,
in goal.
so Illich definitely plays. Illich, Yappy, probably see Edwards.
You might see Beta Shore, depending how.
Not if he came out hurt.
I think they should give him a rest.
Yeah, don't make the old man play an Open Cup game against Northern Colorado.
You might see Nicholson.
I don't think so either. His foot's bothering him, from what I understand.
So a lot. Cole's gone.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it might just have to be Max.
Let's go. I want Max. I want the legend.
Fine with that. Like, I don't want this to be a scrimmage like it always is. Like,
it's going to be.
We always roll out our scrimmage squad, and
so does everybody.
Like, when I hear
team that doesn't win.
When I hear
no, Zach, he's not.
When I hear the club talk about like we talked about on the show Thursday, it's like the statement was made that we need to see trophies and we need to see some silverware. Then roll out a squad that's going to get you that. Like
no,
I've been irritated.
Not in the first round,
not against Northern Hailstorm FC.
Dude, they're beating MLS teams. Like,
yeah, but still, even it's because not in April. You're not rolling out starters for an Open Cup game in April. You're just
I'm not convinced we're gonna win that.
Well, I'm not convinced we're gonna win either.
I never had.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the club can't say they want to bring in trophies and they're disappointed that we haven't won any knockout games when we're not putting out a squad that's going to do that. I'm sorry, dude, but I've been watching Open Cup for 15 years now. We roll out scrimmage squads. I don't know what result you're hoping for when you do the same thing every year and we keep getting bumped every year. So
yeah, you're right.
Put up or shut up on the whole silverware trophy talk.
We probably should have talked about this before, but since I literally sat down and we started the show, we're gonna go post game right after the game Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna go just post game Saturday.
Yeah,
right. Cool.
Yeah,
so
no
still
Thursday
still two shows next week, but we're gonna do a post game after the Open Cup, and we're gonna do a post game following the Vancouver roadie, dude.
There's just a bunch of things going on Thursday with the NFL draft and playoffs.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to
hog up space when we're not we're in season, but we're not in important part of the season yet.
No.
The good news is
the pecking order surprisingly does not have Rapids at the top of it in studio time.
But when it became World Cup time, we were number one, baby. Nobody came near
us. Texas Viking 86. Maxi was out for 1 week.
1 week.
And he probably could have played.
Yeah.
They've made him fly home, but he probably could have played last week. He was cleared, from what I understand.
It was a 2-week thing, basically, because he got injured on a Saturday. 2 Saturdays later,
right.
But he was practicing. He
could have played last week, and they held him out. So, and now he's here. So, Max, he's sick, dude. He's so dope. Should we do flowers or what do you guys have anything else you want to touch on from the game? Any strategic thing? Okay, and maybe any C38ers in there or anyone. We saw the warning go up on the Jumbotron 3 different times in the game for abusive language. So I don't know.
Didn't see that from the Apple coverage.
So I don't know, what's going on there. They seem really fast on the trigger in terms of like in stadium because it's not widespread. So they're not doing the verbal PA announcement, right? It's just the warning on the screen with no warnings like from the PA or from FIFA or anything like that. But it is concerning that basically every game they're flashing those warnings a bunch.
I did see on Twitter, and I wasn't there tonight, so I can't confirm or deny. Someone who was sitting over there on Twitter said that they didn't hear anything coming from that area, so they didn't know why the warnings were going up. It's one person on Twitter.
So one of the photographers told us when he made it back up to the press box that he heard it a few times. So
okay.
So that's from field level too. So where officials would be too that would hear it. So
well, and that's where I would be too if I was there. So
yeah. So I'm not really sure what it was. I think we saw the warning two times on screen all of last season. At least when I was there, I did miss, I think, 3 home games. So, but I only saw it twice, and it's already been like a pretty constant thing at home games this year. So just something to keep an eye on. It sucks to hear, sucks that we have to talk about it, but I do think it's become a theme enough that we do. So, let's see. Anything else?
I just want to shout out the Spanish broadcast.
Did you listen to it? Was it cello?
It's cello, but like Spanish broadcast above and beyond my favorite thing so far about ALLCITY.
Really?
Absolutely love it. It's so good. If you know Spanish, go watch it in Spanish. It's really, really fun.
Do they give the extra long goal or not?
They do, and then at the end, it's like an extra long to like. It's so fun. Again, I grew up. They have I forgot his name, but whoever did the Coachella today, I heard him growing up when I was watching Liga MX. So it's really dope to hearing him call a Rapids game. It's something that I really enjoyed tonight.
That's fun. I missed cello. I usually am there way earlier. I got there about 45 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan too. She was calling the.
She has 2 NWSL games.
She was calling NWSL tonight. So
she has Angel City, and then I think the Wave tomorrow,
and then Red Stars tonight. So
Red Stars tonight. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so good for her making it happen, man. Awesome.
Interesting. Who was on the? You know who was on the English call? I didn't pay attention once I saw that cello was on the Spanish call.
I started hearing.
Yeah, it was. I don't know who they were. It was a male, female. It was a man and woman duo.
I thought the 2 women last week were amazing. So
yeah, I thought they were good.
Yeah, I gotta learn.
Yeah, I mean, like
Alex, you and me both, my guy. Good.
Viking is saying it wasn't as good as last week, and I would agree. Like last week, I think was the best one. Just because they were great. 2 women that were covering last week clearly did more research and homework on the Rapids than any other broadcast has done.
By far.
I thought they crushed it last week.
Far.
So I totally agree with Vikings on
that. Is it time? Is it that time, fellas?
Yep.
It is. Time to watch Duane dance a little bit. Flowers from the fellas.
Our dance.
Look at those fellas. What a bunch of fellas. Who's going first tonight? Who's feeling it?
I'll go.
Duane, I was about to say Duane. Go ahead.
I'll go. I'm going with my guy. I'm going with Cabral.
Interesting.
I saw him getting in the right place at the right time.
Wrong time. He was offsides a bunch.
Well, that's a partnership with when the pass happens.
Sure.
He is.
Sure.
So, but I saw him also adjusting and getting back in space for the ball. I'm not going to put it on him for missing the goal when there were at least 7 or 8 other people who also put the ball.
Well, his only shots on target ended up getting called offside, so he didn't. I don't know if he even had a shot on target.
But even the ones that went straight to the goalkeeper, like everybody else. But loved seeing him get the start. I thought he played with a lot of hustle, a lot of speed, which is what we've been wanting to see. So it was really good to see him on the pitch. And, I don't know. I thought he did a solid job, and I was more encouraged by him in that spot than I have been by anybody else in that spot this season. So
flowers for showing us that like he can do it, but taking back half of them for not doing it. That would be my flowers.
Well, that's everybody who gets flowers who's not on defense tonight.
No.
Other than Mike.
No.
Rubio's part of that. Max and no,
Yeah,
Acosta.
but Rubio kicked it right to the keeper too. So did Keegan.
Rubio didn't
But
keep it right to
Rubio
the
did so
keeper.
much. He did
Yeah.
so much. He was
No,
so
he did in the
much
first
more.
half. Go back and watch.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying he didn't kick it to the keeper. I'm saying that he did more than just he was distributing. He was playing
Yeah,
great.
he had an
Rubio
assist.
He was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cabral did
Like
not
I
do
said,
the
he
things
was Gretzky
around.
level tonight.
Cabral
He
did
was
not do
Gretzky
the
level.
other things to make his not finishing.
But saying that Cabral was the only one putting it to the keeper is
That's
No,
not-
I,
I
no,
didn't
that's
say- I
not.
didn't say that.
No,
No, okay.
it
well,
wasn't just Cabral. Yeah,
misunderstood.
I'm just saying I want to give him flowers because it was positive in that he started, he was fast, they found a nice rhythm on offense, but I don't want to give flowers because I don't think he was actually that good. I just think
Give
we
him
saw what could happen. You know what I'm
My
saying?
flowers,
Like,
I'm giving them to who I want.
absolutely, by all means, we're talking here. This is the whole point. I just want to see it. I just want to see him. I just want to see him.
He also got fouled and totally gave some shit to the ref, which I know the ref didn't understand because it was all in French. And
They had
support that dog.
it was
Support
kind
that French
of.
bulldog.
was it a foul? I don't know. We had the San Jose game on in the like the little box behind press row, so we didn't see it.
It didn't look like a foul to me.
I don't
Either
care.
way.
He still
Yeah.
gave it to him.
Yeah, he
I
did.
like
give it
that.
to him, yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, because
Fair
he's
enough.
such a quiet guy, and tonight he was giving it to him. So
Yeah, you give some flowers.
My flowers are gonna go to Acosta, man.
Yo, what a game from our guy.
Gosh.
Damn.
Dude
A plus.
Dude has become the heart of this team. He has become that. He has really
He's
embodied the Jack Price.
This is the
role.
best he's looked in 3-4 years.
They kept,
like,
dude.
He's awesome right now, man.
They kept saying it in the broadcast, man, that Lovren didn't look good. He wasn't making the right passes, and a lot of that was because Acosta locked him up.
Yeah.
Acosta defensively, offensively, I was surprised that they pushed him up higher than Ronan. I would have thought it would have been the opposite. I would have thought that Ronan would have pushed higher and Acosta would stay back. They did the opposite. Acosta took that role, ran all the way. He was playing the left wing at time. He started playing the 10 at time. He was even a shadow striker in parts of the game.
He was, dude.
And it was
so sick.
It was so impressive, dude. Like, cause he was everywhere. He's here, he's there, he's fucking everywhere. Acosta, dude, like he
Straight
earned
up.
it today.
Straight up.
He was everything Porg said that he wanted in a guy that he brings onto the Rapids.
100%.
Able to play multiple positions and fill in where needed. And he was what we've been hoping he would become. Like, he was that 100% tonight. Like, not even a shadow, a glimpse of what we could have in Acosta. Like, he was that dude tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, Costa was great. Hopefully he's back next week and not too hurt to play. I will make sure to follow up. Keep an eye out on the Rapid on our Twitter account for any updates on that injury. Flowers for me go to Keegan Rosenberry.
Yeah.
Man, you remember last year how it was like when we would talk about the defense and it was like, well, Keegan will just stay back and Lucas can push, right? And it was like Keegan's so sound and fundamental and he can just hold down the back line as an extra center back when we need him to. And then this year he's just like completely switched and he's like an integral part to that attacking third like all the time and doing great with it. I don't know. He looks good.
He really recovered that 2021 form when he was playing wing back, when he was pushing up higher, when you did have him in a more offensive role.
Yep.
And you can tell that he loves playing that role more than he does playing regular right back.
Man.
So
yeah, did he hit the woodwork? Was that him?
yeah, that was him.
Oh
yeah.
They had Berkey beat like 2-3 times. They just Acosta beat him.
Yes.
Keegan beat
Who
him.
had the chip? Was it? Oh
Acosta.
no, that was one of the offsides one too. That was off.
No, that one wasn't offsides. The chip wasn't the one that was to the right.
The chip was so sick. I wanted it so bad.
It was again. They
I might have
beat
to
him.
give flowers to fucking Berkey. God damn it.
We
would never. Okay.
Berkey
Duane,
was really good, man.
he was great. Duane, do you have any more flowers to give my guy?
Man, I've got so many. My next one's Rubio. We've talked about it already.
Yeah.
But not even from because we always, again, we think of Rubio as a prolific goal scorer, and he is.
Yeah.
But we saw a new level of him tonight. I mean, we've seen it before, but it was at such a more a more in-depth, higher level of him being the guy on the team, setting up scoring chances. If he wasn't taking the shots himself, he was being that leader on the pitch and getting the ball to who was most available to put it in. I saw a different level of Rubio tonight that to me was just all-star level, just totally all-star level.
This is why it's games like this that just prove that he is the 10. He's the 10. He's a 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 10. He's not a striker. He's so good getting people involved. And when he accepts a ball in traffic, right, he'll have a guy on his back, two guys coming in. The two touches he gets to be able to be sprinting with the ball at his feet to get out of traffic. I've seen it more this year than I saw all of last year put together. His dribbling has just been on another. And I don't know if that's just because he's been healthier for longer or I don't know what it is, but I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed. It's layers we didn't see last year.
It feels like he's really worked on his touch, and one thing I've also noticed that he does a lot more this year. He looks around a lot quicker to see who's around him, and he can read the defense better, and he finds the open guy a lot quicker, which I think really has helped him out.
Yeah.
Last year there was times where he was kind of stagnant because he didn't look around enough. This time he's just way more aware of his whole surroundings. Defensively, also, man. Defensively and offensively, this dude has stepped it up in the last 2 weeks, and you can really tell the difference.
That extension,
you can really tell the difference pre-Rubio in this offense this year and post-Rubio. There's a huge difference in goal scoring.
In the second half, Rubio got all the way back to Yarby to save a potentially bad situation.
I
mean, not talking offense. This is him sprinting the entire field to get back and help save the day. Dude was just, he was at a veteran leadership all-star level tonight. It was awesome to watch.
Here's what I said on that clearance on the game thread. Rubio and Barrios defending the break. Nice clearance from Diego. Weird sentence to type. This game is on drugs. Okay.
We're not there yet, Zach. We're getting there.
Yeah. Give some flowers.
Maxu has to be the next guy for me, and I'll leave the obvious one to you, Mitch.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you. Put it up on a tee, and I will hit that shit out of the air.
I think Maxu is really impressive, man. Coming back after that horrible injury where he got knocked out, and then still being a stalwart, dude. He locked up Klaus. I'm sorry, dude. Klaus to me is one of the better players in the MLS.
Yeah, Klaus in hell, bro.
He might be a top 3 finalist. He might be a finalist for MVP this year. That's how good Klaus is.
Maxu made him look silly.
Maxu locked him up, dude. And this is what I was saying. If Maxu plays as a top 3 Defender of the Year finalist, the Rapids will be good.
I think so too. Yeah.
And I truly think this guy has been. Yeah. If he is not a finalist, I get it. It's the Rapids. They're not good right now. But he should at least be in the conversation.
Yeah. Before we give the obvious flowers, I have one flower to give. Did you see that touch that Danny Wilson had? It was a huge sky ball that came back to him in the first half. It was just everyone on presser was like, "Ooh, Danny, nice with it." Okay, that's the flower I give to him. The one flower.
Oh, we got more. Are we got more before we hit the obvious?
Do you have another one?
Yeah,
go.
It's so many.
Go. So flower it up, dude.
I'm flowering Robin Fraser. I know we're struggling on offense right now, but this back five has been a complete
revelation.
Club changer for the Rapids.
Well, the back five last year was terrible. We were never go back to the back five ever again.
Yes,
never again.
He has changed it and figured out a way to get these players to make sense of it. And again, this is one of the top scoring teams, if not the top scoring
I
team in
believe
the
it's the
league.
top scoring team. I'll
And
keep
we
going.
are shutting them down. And I'm 0% surprised. Like I told people earlier today, I'm like,
Damn.
they're not
Number
getting
one
those
with a
4 and 5
bullet.
goals. Yeah,
Number one with a
shutting
bullet.
them down.
They're the only team to score over 20. They have 21. Seattle's next at 17.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not afraid of anybody with this back line. Like, and Fraser plays a big part of that. The players do too. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's playing great. But to not abandon that after it went way south last year, to figure out how to retool it, and make it work this year, I got to give flowers to Fraser on that.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Do you have anyone else you want to give?
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. I think one of the unsung heroes of tonight was Ronan.
Interesting. I was not going to agree with you, but I want to hear why. Go ahead.
Ronan, the way he was able to control that midfield, we give a lot of props to Acosta, but the reason Acosta was able to push up and the reason the Rapids didn't have a lot of counterattacks against them, it's because Ronan really held his own as the last six. I thought when he got the ball, the last couple of games I criticized him a little bit because I thought he wasn't quick enough or he didn't make the decision when he had to. And I think today he really proved that. He was same thing as Rubio. When I looked at him, he was looking to the sides as quickly as he could because he was looking for the next guy. He wasn't trying to hold on to the ball. He felt pressure. He has that gorgeous spin that he gets him out of every situation.
You're right. Yep.
Defenders know what's coming and they still can't stop it. And that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and getting a different result. And I just thought today Ronan was an unsung hero because he let Acosta be Acosta, and he was able to hold his own as a six, which is a great progression for him in the future.
Yeah.
I thought his set pieces could use some work, but besides that, I thought on the
pieces were not good tonight.
He was getting the ball up to Rubio and Keegan really well too, even from distance. Like his passes were on target. Especially in the second half when we were struggling.
Yeah. Go
ahead. Sorry, I mentioned.
No, by all means, give some flowers. What else you got?
I'll throw if we're talking unsung. If we're in the unsung category now,
jeez,
I'm going with Beta. Like Sam. We saw Sam with an injury. I thought Beta, coming in and playing, almost the full game, played really well. And I would say even played better offensively than Sam has been lately as far as getting the ball back in.
Yeah.
In the first half, I felt way more confident with him.
Interesting. I'd say we really missed Sam tonight. I think Sam was probably not having Sam was probably why they didn't score. Would be my thesis on the night.
I think shooting it to the goalie's chest was why we didn't win.
That too. I just
there were a lot of chances.
I don't know. I'm like begrudgingly becoming a Sam guy, and I don't like it. So
I love Sam.
Let's move on.
I loved Sam the first time he was with the Rapids, and I love him now.
Please.
But I thought Beta came in and did a great job. I thought
I'll
Beta
take my way out.
Great job.
I'm good, man. You're all good to go.
You guys have any other ones?
Do you want to bring us home, Mitch, with the last one, our savior?
There is one guy on this team that really deserves flowers more than anybody.
2 games in a row.
Michael David Barrios Puerta.
Holy
Did I say that right?
I don't know what it is, but you said
that's his name. That's his name. Say his name.
I don't
Clutchest player in the league. Let's go.
Michael Barrios.
Woo! Boy, stoppage goals, and this one was a no-doubter. Banger.
He saves us again, man.
God.
Mikey is the savior. He is the savior.
He is so good.
Isn't he part of 3 last-minute goals to get draws? Austin, Charlotte, and tonight. Because he gave that assist to Cabral in that.
But that was even the 86. That wasn't even like he has 2 stoppage time in 2 games.
But 3 goals to give the Rapids to draw almost to death, the last 10 minutes.
Oh no, I mean he's as clutch as it comes. This is like what Lewis was doing in 2021.
Yeah.
Right? But it's Mikey now. He is just a bulldog. He comes in, somehow every ball finds him for the last 10 minutes. I think Jim said something about it way back in the comments, but like way back. So don't even try and find it. But it works. Get it up top. Mikey's gonna make something happen. You saw Rubio really feeding off of those runs late. He's as clutch as it comes, and he's our tiny king, and we love him forever.
Honestly,
Flowers.
Dude, it's incredible to think that we were thinking he wasn't gonna make the squad, and now he's been the saving grace of this team.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I had him as the guy outbound. I had him as the outbound odd man out, and I'm glad I was wrong. Because that dude is ice water. He is Captain Clutch. He is our tiny king. We stand. Patron saint of the pod this year, I think, is going to be Mikey.
I think he's our Facundo. He's our Facu.
He's our Facu. We love him. Damn, guys. Okay, so we've given our flowers. We've prepped the guys on the listeners on when our next show is this week. Yeah. What would you like us to plug on our way out of here?
DNVR_Rapids. Give us go follow us there. That's on Twitter. We're a lot of fun. Mitch runs that account. 5-star review wherever you hear us, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Stitcher. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. And is there something else I wanted to plug? I think that's about it.
Go Avalanche.
Go Avs. They won 3-1, 2-1, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Back-to-back champs.
They're gonna be fine.
Duane, how about you, bud?
Hey, man, if you can, get to the game on Wednesday. Open Cup games, I can tell you from experience, are historically very empty. So if you want to move into a center seat, chances are they're going to be open. So get there, try to support the club.
Yeah, come on out. It's going to be fun.
Let's beat the hailstorm. I don't want to lose to some crappy team from
they play in a bubble. They don't even play in a real stadium.
No.
Duane also has like a personal vendetta.
Yeah, I'm so ready. I don't hide it. I'm ready to destroy.
I can't wait for video of Duane booing Hailstorm every time they touch the ball to come out from the stands.
10 years from now, when a hailstorm is rainstorm because of global warming, and the Rapids are just the Colorado deserts, we're gonna need Duane to explain why he hates rainstorm so much.
I kind of want you to explain it right now.
He can't, but
it's
all right. Nope. You will
nothing.
never know, listeners.
I'll share with you at the tailgate sometime, folks. That's if you want to know, come find me at the tailgate.
Right.
And the thing is, like, he has a good point, but it's just I find it so funny.
It's totally petty.
It's super petty, but it's like
you guys quit teasing the listeners. They're just going.
Oh my god,
it's so petty, and
all right,
I own it, and I don't care. I'm all in. Like I hope we destroy him 20-0.
Get signed up at thednvr.com. Become a diehard member today. You get free merchandise. You get a discount at the bar. You get discount on merch. You get into the Discord servers. You get behind the paywall and all our written content. You get first dibs on event tickets and cheaper event tickets. You get all sorts of fun stuff. It's worth being the diehard 100%. So get signed up. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. And more important than that, it is up the pits.